So this trip left out of Barcelona, and we really did everything we could to prepare ourselves for the best sleep schedule possible. But this was the flight from hell. So we showed up with maybe 2 hours of sleep between the both of us, and it was rough. But oh my gosh, Spain is so beautiful. This was our hotel, and it could not have been any better to show up to when we were so grumpy and on the verge of a breakdown. Oh my gosh, that tub. But Meg had to work, and so we were like, well, we're going to put her somewhere nice so she can get her job done and start this trip off right. Look at that. And I kind of went off and did my own thing after we had lunch until Nick got there. So I didn't get a lot of content because I was by myself again, and I didn't want anything to happen. So I didn't get a lot here, but just know Spain is so beautiful. The next morning, we had breakfast at our hotel, and it was so freaking good. Take a look at that honeycomb. I tore this up, I'm going to be honest. I don't think they were ready for me to come in there and absolutely destroy what they had set out. I ordered cortado, and they got a cappuccino. Oh, and look at that. It's perfect. This was the best meal we had in Livorno, to be honest.
Please welcome aboard the Dubois family.
Once we got on the ship, our first priority was just showing Margaret around, so she kind of knew what was going on, because we were seasoned cruisers on the Fantasy. We've only done the Dream and the Fantasy, so to us this is our home. So she knew nothing. So obviously the first stop was to get a bon voyage. So we took her to the pool bar, and we had lunch, and then we watched the sail away party. And I think that this was the part of the trip where Meg realized that maybe she had made a mistake, because Nick and I knew every single word to the song, including the dance moves. So I don't know what her initial thoughts were, but I'm sure it wasn't good. Which is totally fine, because we ended up getting her a limoncello spritz and a drink of the day. And we kept exploring the ship for a minute, and this is when we went to our first sort of nighttime entertainment, which was this pianist who was, oh my God, amazing. And we'll talk more about him later. Then we went to dinner, and it was Animator's Palette, and it's my favorite restaurant on this ship because it's themed to how they draw the characters, and it's the characters coming to life, and it's just so cute. And I order one of every dessert every time, and I don't finish it, okay? Leave me alone. But I just like to taste. Another thing I love about Disney Cruise Line is that you get to meet any character just at any time, and they're always out. So as our alarm clock for the mornings, we decided just to use the room service breakfast. So we had a little good morning breakfast every day, and we immediately go to trivia. And we were so confident every trivia we went to that we were going to win, because we were like, we know everything Disney. But this boat was full of nerds, and we never won anything. And in this house, we take breakfast seriously, so we went again. And this breakfast is fun. It's a little bit more upscale than the buffet, because they serve you, and it's cute. And then we went and had pool time, and we had a drink of the day. And Margaret tans, so she sits in the sun. I do not tan, so I don't fight the sun, and I sit in as much shade as possible. And then it was lunchtime, and the only reason I go to this lunch is just to have this chocolate hazelnut cake. That's it. It's amazing, and I would eat 3 if I could. So then we went over to Europa to do more trivia. And Europa is kind of the adults-only area, and each section is a different country in Europe. So this is La Piazza that we're in right now, and it's like an Italian carnival. And this one I think would be your favorite. It's like an Irish pub, and it's really cute, and they serve food here. So another perk. This is Cove Cafe, which is one of the coffee shops on the boat, and this one's also in the adults only area. Oh, and all these treats are free. You can just they just grab them for you. It's amazing. I had like 10 every day. They have these fancy contraptions too. I also got a good view of the espresso machine because I figured you'd want to know. And this is where I go to get the best espresso martini on the whole boat. The first night at sea is formal night, so everyone gets super dressed up and looks really cute, and you can meet the characters and like tuxes, and you know, Minnie has a cute dress on. And Margaret was like, I'm gonna look at jewelry, and she liked this ring a lot, and it was $11,000, and we said, oh, okay, thank you, and walked away. But look how cute we are. And on a 7 night, on formal night, they walk around and they pass out drinks. So you get champagne. Oh, I left that shot in there for you, girl. So we got champagne and wine. And, you know, it's just cute. It's a fun time. And then we headed out to dinner at, I think Enchanted Garden is the name of this one. Ayo. Again, here's me getting every dessert. And no, I'm not wasteful. We all share them all. You know, we're not just throwing away food. But we did have 2 of those sticky, oh, look how cute she is. We did have 2 of those like sticky walnut cakes because they were so freaking good. Okay, now we got to talk about Ellis. Ellis was the guy playing the piano, and we loved him. We went to every set of his. We danced to every song he played. He was so good. I have some clips in here later of him playing, and he's incredible, and he was such a cool guy, and we ended up actually being like friends with him and talking to him a lot. So, you know, it pays to never shut up because you make friends.
Nick, it's nice to meet you. Nick, the audience, Nick. Anyway, there's no 2 the same. There's no marks on the back. You take your time, Nick. Go just there. You take your time, check them out, and don't worry about the audience while you're doing that, because I'm going to keep them enthralled, as I promised in my theatre show, with a selection of songs from the musical Les Miserables, sung in the a cappella style. If I could have some dramatic Les Miserables lighting, please. Or leave it exactly as it is. That's wonderful. Please to know that you will keep me safe, and you will hold me close, and we will watch the flowers grow.
This was me trying to get like a cute artsy shot of us walking up the steps, but we couldn't get it together, so I just left this clip in here because I thought it was funny.
Like this? How are we holding? How are we doing? We're just gonna walk up and go, oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying, stagger. We need a stagger so it's not everyone's.
Okay, go.
Go,
Sit down,
go. Go!
So, as you already know, this trip was planned less than 2 weeks in advance. We probably had about 11 days to get our crap together before we left. So we didn't have time to like do any excursion or get tickets to anything. We just kind of showed up. And we're like, you know what? We're going to try to avoid the super touristy areas. We're going to try to eat like kind of off the beaten path, like find the authentic stuff. And oh, look at that doggies. And Margaret, this first street, she said, I'm gonna walk down here. And she's so right. Everything Meg does is so good, because this street ended up having some of the best restaurants, some of the best cafes, and these trees grew lemons and oranges. They were just growing in the street. It was incredible. So we pretty much just followed her for the rest of the trip because of this one move she made. And it was perfect. She did such a good job. And we stopped into this cafe. And I got, oh, look at that espresso. It was perfect. And in Italy, every table has an ashtray on it. And I think that's beautiful.
Hi.
Hi.
We're in
Hello from
Palermo. Ciao. Ciao, George.
Salve.
Salve. We just had an espresso. Cappuccino un cornetto. 9. Espresso. Love you. Wish you were here. Espresso.
This was the Palermo Cathedral. So this was the first church that we went into. And oh my goodness, these churches were so beautiful, and some of them even had like mass going on when we walked in. So there's a lot that I didn't take videos or pictures of because it kind of felt weird. But they were all just so stunning and so beautiful and so intricate, and it was just the coolest thing to go into them. I think you would have loved it, especially the ceilings and all of them were incredible. Also, that's a high school. Imagine going to high school next to this. That's crazy. Girl, that's the ocean right there. That's crazy. Anyway, around this time we started to go more towards the downtown area, and we met up with our friends and we had lunch, and it was delicious. I had to get some Italian red wine. Nick got a little spritz. I forget what kind it was, but it was Campari because I didn't like it. But the food was so good, and the setting was just, it was so good. This was like the most touristy thing we did. And I liked it. It was fun. I think he would have thrived in this type of environment because it was so loud and everyone was so outgoing, and I think you would have made friends with everybody. This right here is the best gelato I've ever had. This place was incredible, top notch. It was so good. I got pistachio, classic, have to do it. Oh my God, 10 out of 10 recommend. I'm dreaming about it, for real. It was delicious. Then we took a super fun and not dangerous at all taxi ride over to Palermo Beach, and it was super cute and really scenic, and we almost got in a wreck only like 10 times. So, everybody wins, really. But girl, this beach was insane. Yeah, that's good stuff. Oh my gosh, it literally looked like something out of a movie. The water was so blue and clear. Feet pics for free. I was only a little bit upset because they told me I wasn't allowed to take my bathing suit off. And that's okay. We had fun anyway. And no, I'm not going to post pictures of us in the water. Okay, you're going to have to Venmo me to be able to see all that, okay? But for real, this was probably the best thing we did the entire trip. This whole day was so much fun, and I don't think anything else in my life will ever top this. Seriously. And I had to end the day with some Italian espresso, naturally. And then we went and we got lunch on the boat. And look at that view. Absolutely stunning, babe. And then Meg came in clutch with these drinks of the day. Because, you know, we do our uppers and downers in this house. Delicious. Then we got back into it with our nighttime fun. Back in Europa with our man Ellis. This is the French part of Europa. And it's called Ooh La La. And it's a champagne bar. It's super cute, and I love it. And I love this clip because he started playing Tarzan, and Nick just did not have a care in the world. Zoned out. Precious. We ended up getting a pineapple julep, a Saint Germain champagne cocktail, and also a raspberry champagne cocktail. And some of us liked the entertainment a little bit more than others. Ayo! This sunset was so beautiful, it made us late for dinner. And this is deep fried brie, and it was delicious. And then we ended our night with a game of Match Your Mate. And it wasn't as fun this time because last time we saw it, Nick and I were on it and we won. So, you know, you can't have it all. So again, we arrived here with no real plan or idea of what we wanted to do, just pure vibes, really. We knew of this like basilica that was supposed to be beautiful, so we just started heading our way there. And I like this city. It reminded me a lot of New York. It was very dirty, with graffiti everywhere, and everyone was like hustle and bustle. I don't know, I loved it. But this, oh my gosh, this church I think is one of the most beautiful we ever went into. Everything was so intricate, and oh my gosh, the sound in here was, I think, again, the most incredible of any of the churches we went to. It was stunning. It literally was like an out of body experience. We gotta go. And you know, we had to go to a cafe and get our coffees. This one was cool because you could actually see a view of the church. Go ahead and take a look at the cross section right there. And I liked it so much I decided to save some for later. So before this trip, Margaret said the only thing she wanted was tiramisu and wine. So by golly, we went and got as much tiramisu as we could. And then we made our way over to another church. This one was really cool. I would say it was more modern. I don't know if it was newer, but it was more of like a museum. And I thought this was cool because they had like 3D layouts and everything was in Braille. So you could feel what a lot of the sculptures looked like. So it was very like accessible. And I thought that was really cool. Very interesting. So yeah, this was that was very touristy. There was a lot of big groups going there. So we kind of made our way a little bit towards the fancier part of Naples because, you know, we had to go get some pizza. And again, here's Meg being absolutely perfect, leading the way. And look at this shot of the ship over a freaking volcano. I'm going to let Nick tell you more about it because I don't know.
Naples is famous in culinary terms for two reasons. One, for being the birthplace of limoncello, and for being the birthplace of pizza. So, of course, we had to have some limoncello spritz. And while we were in spritzing mode, we got some Aperol spritz as well. And grabbed some classic Naples pizza. It ended up being interesting because this restaurant fried their pizza dough and it was delicious. After that, we headed down to the waterfront, which was a very upscale vacation-y part of Naples, just to see the sights, look out over the water, and see Mount Vesuvius, which is beautiful today, but back in the day destroyed an entire civilization. Popped into another restaurant for another limoncello spritz, because when in Rome, and took another minute to take in the sights.
From Marco Polo himself, he was in some of his records describing an alcoholic drink that was offered to him in the region that now.
This was the rum tasting that we did on the ship that night. And this one was a lot of fun and very different from the other ones we've done because he took us through rum based on the processes and how they were made. So it was like the lightest rum to the darkest rum and the type of sugar they use. This guy was so educational and was just so full of information. And I asked him like 1,000 questions and we made, again, friends with everybody in the room. And then later in the night, we checked out our boy Ellis. He did a Billy Joel set, whipped out a freaking harmonica. Look at him go.
I would love to say that we walked into Rome with no plan, but we actually got off the boat in the neighboring city of Civitavecchia with no plan to even get to Rome. So we signed up for the sketchiest tour ever, where this guy claimed he would drive us into Rome and show us a bunch of the sights around the city.
Yeah, it was incredibly sketchy, and we basically just paid cash up front with no idea what we were getting into. But girl, this little Italian man was so cool. He spoke zero English, but he was hilarious. Meg and I sat up front with him in his van, and he was so freaking funny. He was teaching us Italian the whole time, and it was a blast.
Hi from Rome.
Hi from Rome.
The first stop on our tour was the Vatican City, which we were pretty excited to see. Even though we didn't have any tours booked, we couldn't go inside anywhere. But it was shoulder-to-shoulder tourists. And at first, we kind of thought, well, that's normal. It's Rome, a lot of tourists here, and we just kind of accepted it and moved on. But actually, the reason for that was the Pope was there at that moment. There he is, on stage, kissing hands and shaking babies.
And I know what you're thinking, Allison, Margaret has the know-how and Nicholas has the brains. What do you possibly bring to this vacation? And the answer is literally nothing. I was a passenger princess this whole time. I just made sure everyone got in and out of the country and that all of our luggage also got in and out of the country. And that was it. My job stopped there. But throughout the whole city, they had these little fountains that just poured out water continuously. And I'm sure you would have loved it because I think you would have drank out of every single one of them. And we ended up walking into this cutest little cheese shop restaurant. But we didn't have enough time to eat anywhere, actually, because our little Italian man was so on schedule and so strict. He actually did leave people behind one time. So we were pretty go the whole day. It was kind of a lot. Then he dropped us off at the Piazza Navona. And this place was cool because apparently back in the day, they would flood this and recreate like Navy battles or something. I don't know. Ask Nick. But this was cool because they also, again, had a church that we could go into.
Our next stop was this monument to Victor Emmanuel II, who was the first king of what is now modern Italy. And it also included a memorial to Italy's First World War soldiers and a tomb of the unknown soldier. There were inside galleries that we didn't have tickets to, but there was still a lot of the outside stuff that we were able to look at. Just really stunning to see architecture and art like that, just in the middle of a bustling city. And from it, you could see a lot of cool things, a lot of archaeological remains of ancient Rome being excavated and restored around that site, and you could even see the Colosseum from the top of it.
Then we went over to the Trevi Fountain, and it looks just like it does in Epcot. So, you know, save yourself a trip on that one. But this was a very popular spot. It was so crowded, and I can see why. It was nice. But all the other architecture around this was equally as beautiful and not as loved, and it made me sad. Then to cool off, I went and did my favorite thing, which is grocery shopping. And I got a lot of food on this trip. I really did. And look at this McDonald's that's in downtown ancient Rome. It's got actual marble statues in it. And you can go and have yourself a little McSpresso anytime you want.
Our next stop was the only thing I actually even wanted to see. Hey Alexa, play some Hans Zimmer, because it's the Colosseum. And I was prepared to love it, and I was still blown away. I didn't realize this thing is like the size of a modern NFL stadium. It is enormous, and it was just really cool to see it in person. Even if we didn't go in, we had a great view of the inside from out here.
Then he drove us up to a side of a cliff and opened the doors and was like, you have 5 minutes. And this was the best view of the whole city. And I don't even know where this was. Nobody knew where we were. We really thought we were getting kidnapped. But I think people live there. And just imagine sitting out there smoking cigarettes and this is your view. That's crazy. But yeah, it was this beautiful fountain that was high above, and you could see the entire city, and it was just incredible. We were so exhausted on this trip back to the ship, but it didn't matter because, hey Alexa, play Hans Zimmer, because it was freaking pirate night. So, you know, we had to go meet our characters in their cute little pirate outfits, and Nick had to go get us rum and some limes, because we don't want to get scurvy. And then we went and had some karaoke time. I don't know if you know this or not, but Meg can sing.
We're saying hi to Allie. Hi, Allie. It's nighttime.
Go to sleep.
Go to bed. bed. Hope you sleep well. Love you. Good night. Mwah.
Here is a fun fact. We don't know how to skip. So we decided the night before, because the Rome day was so exhausting, that we weren't going to travel like an hour and a half to Florence, which is what most people do. We were just going to stay in the port in the city of Livorno. And at first we were like, I don't know about this, because it was kind of dead. But the more we walked into the city, the more we loved it. It felt like we lived there because it was so quiet and so peaceful. It was only locals. It was only people who lived there and worked there. Girl, you are not ready for this. We went into this restaurant. I'm going to cry thinking about it. I miss it. This whole menu is Italian. Our waitress knew no English, and it was amazing. And also she was so beautiful. I couldn't talk to her. I had Meg and Nick talk to her because it was like I was starstruck or something. But this food was the best food we've ever had. And this wine was made like 2 miles away from where we were. And it was just incredible. And I don't think you understand how good it is. So here's some more pictures for you just soak it in. Yeah, that's good stuff. Go ahead and take a look at that cross section right there. So here we were, minding our business, drinking our drinks of the day, watching our boy Ellis, and all of a sudden, this chick comes out and starts tap dancing, and I just knew you would have loved it, and I would have had to keep you from going on that stage and joining her. And she was good. She was really good, but I think you would have been better. And like I said earlier, I do love this about the Disney cruise, is that the characters are just always out. And it may look like I don't show a lot of them. And that's because, one, I think it's really weird to just kind of put a camera in somebody's face. And two, there were always children around. And I'm not going to record children. So, if you want to go see a picture of Chip and Dale, Google it. Because I'm not going to be the creep that starts recording when Mickey Mouse is talking to a child. Okay?
After dinner, we headed up to the most upscale lounge on the ship. It's called Meridian, and I love everything about its design. The theme is world travel. It's covered in maps. Their cocktail menu is so clever because it's all classic cocktails, but everything has an interesting twist. Like their margarita is made with calamansi and yuzu, and they add bergamot puree to their sidecar.
And rum may have my heart, but tequila is my lady. It's time for tequila tasting.
See this rosé color, okay? Why is it rosé? It's still a blanco, a silver tequila. But we have this rosé color here because was rested for a month.
But for real, tequila tasting is always a hit. It's always so good. And I don't think we've ever tried the same 3 tequilas more than once. But this one's just fun to do with friends because it's such a lively class, and a lot of people in this class mostly don't drink tequila at all. So it's hilarious.
Do you like it? Do you like?
It was really
Is
good.
it spicy?
No, not a single spice.
Oh.
It's white
Why
spice.
is my margarita lumpy?
And what she's mixing up here is a Patron margarita, and it's for me because I answered a question correctly, and then she asked me if I wanted salt on the rim, and I was scared of her, so I said yes, and I did not like it. But I'm glad I had it because it was delicious. And so again, uppers and downers, babies. We went and got some cappuccino and espresso from Cove Cafe, and we just hung out a bit until it was time to go do some nighttime things. So at the last night of your cruise, they have a see you real soon party where all the characters come out and do like a final goodbye. And honestly, it pisses me off because it means I have to get off the boat in the morning, and I hate it. So clearly this was the trip of the lifetime, and it was magical. It was incredible. Honestly, thank you to Margaret for dropping everything the second I called her and asked to go. Thank you to Nick for flying like 48 hours to get there. Thank you to Diane, Magic to Go Travel. Shout out to her for literally making this incredible trip happen. It was so good. And I think it was a really fun way to see a new country and hitting all the fun stops without really having to plan like a full European trip. But oh my gosh, Allie, get a passport. Love you. Bye.